Hello students, today we will study about the next plant of bryophytes, that is the anthoceros. The systematic position of anthoceros, it belongs from the division Bryophyta, class Anthocerotopsida, order Anthocerotals, family Anthocerotaceae, genus Anthoceros. The genus Anthoceros includes more than 200 species, out of which about 32 have been reported from the India. The genus occurs widely in tropical and temperate regions of the world. Plants of the Anthoceros usually grow in moist and sandy places in the form of dense patches, means cluster. They are not well adapted to survive unfavorable dry conditions. The most common habitats are the sides of declivities and the hollows of moist rocks. There are some of the common Indian species, example Anthoceros erectus, Anthoceros gemelliosus, Anthoceros crispus, Anthoceros himalayensis. The main plant body of all the plants of bryophytes includes the Anthoceros is gametophytic, is haploid, which is usually called a thallus. Going to the vegetative structure, the external features or structure or morphology of the Anthoceros thallus. The thallus of the Anthoceros is small, dorsiventral, yellowish green or dark green. It is flat, dorsiventral and branched or lobed. These are the lobed. Some species are deeply bilobed and the lobes are fleshy. The thalli are spongy due to the presence of underlying mucilaginous ducts. The thallus is thick in the middle but lacks a definite midrib, that is, lacks a definite midrib. The dorsal surface of thallus may be smooth, velvety, or rough with ridges and spines. The ventral surface of thallus bears a large number of unicellular smooth-walled rhizoids. If the thallus is observed under the hand lens, it shows several small, dark bluish green, opaque, rounded spots in ventral surface. The spots represent due to the presence of endophytic alga, that is the nostoc, in mucilaginous cavities. The shape of thalli may vary in different species. Interstructure of the thallus. This is the interstructure of thallus. The thallus is several layers thick in the middle, approximately 6 to 40 cells, and gradually becomes thin toward the margin. Internally, the thallus is not differentiated into photosynthetic zone and storage zone, similar in or in the case of the Mertensia, that is, in Anthropus there is no differentiation. Almost all the cells are green and possess chloroplasts. The upper epidermis consists of, this is the upper epidermis, consists of regular arrangement of comparatively smaller cells. These cells possess larger chloroplasts as compared to other cells. There are no air chambers or air pores similar in case of the Mertensia or the present in the Mertensia. Mean there is no air chambers or air pores are present in the thallus of the Anthropus. The thallus is characterized by having large intracellular schizogenous cavities filled with mucilage. This is the schizogenous cavities. These cavities run parallel to long axes and known as mucilage cavities. These cavities open to the ventral surface of thallus by narrow stoma-like slits called slime pores. Called slime pores. These are that is the slime pore. However, in some species, the mucilaginous cavities are absent. Because of this reason, the species which does not possesses the slime pores are placed in the new genus, that is Physiocerus. The slime pore is guided by thin-walled, kidney-shaped, two thin-walled, kidney-shaped guard cells, but these guard cells do not function to regulate the size of the pore. The mucilaginous cavities are inhabited by endophytic blue-green alga, that is nostoc. The hormones of nostoc alga enter into the cavities through स्लाइम पोर्स के थ्रू एंट्री करता है एंड मल्टीप्लाई टू फॉर्म द कॉलोनीज. इट इज presumed, माना जाता है, that the mucilage present in the cavities is probably secreted by the nostoc itself. The alga fix the atmospheric nitrogen and transport the fixed nitrogen into the thallus of Anthropus and gains in place of it the carbon nutrition from the thallus. Because alga shows a little ability to fix the कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड itself. इस प्रकार ये जो कार्बन कंपाउंड है और कार्बन न्यूट्रिशन है ये थैलस से गेन करता है और ये अपनी फिक्स की हुई नाइट्रोजन गैस इनटू नाइट्रोजनस कंपाउंड्स, उन नाइट्रोजन कंपाउंड्स को ये थैलस को प्रोवाइड करता है और ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है. सो both partners benefit each other. The Nostoc-Anthropus association is therefore regarded as a highly specialized form of symbiosis. All the cells of thallus usually possess single chloroplast, but in few species there may be 2 or even 4 chloroplasts in each cell. The chloroplast is usually associated with large multiple pyrenoid. The chloroplast is large, disc-shaped, or biconvex lens-shaped. It consists of several plate-like lamellae connected at their edges. The pyramid is made up of 25 to 300 disc or spindle-shaped bodies. These are grouped at the center of chloroplast. The nucleus of the cell lies adjacent to the chloroplast. Presence of pyramid is a unique feature of anthosauros कि ये anthosauros का एक unique feature है, that is the presence of pyramid. Usually the pyramid जो है are found associated with chloroplast in green alga but not in other bryophytes. Presence of pyramid in anthosauros tends to speculate its algal ancestry. Tends to speculate its algal ancestry. Next, go to the reproduction. Anthrothalli starts reproducing after reaching a certain stage of maturity. Reproduction occurs both vegetatively and sexually. Vegetative reproductions or asexual reproductions occurs in this plant by a variety of means like the fragmentations, that is this method, this type of method is common in all liverworts but not so common in anthosauros. It occurs by progressive death and decay of posterior portion of thallus, that is this. When decaying reaches the branching region, the two thallus lobe become separated and grow independently as new thalli. Next, that is the tubers. A few species of anthosauros like the Anthosauros himalayensis, Anthosauros pearsoni, Anthosauros tuberosus develop perinating tubers at the end of growing season. The tubers develop 2 to 3 corky superficial layers which enclose and protect the inner cells, and the inner cells contain the starch, oil globules and protein. The tubers survive and tide over the unfavorable dry conditions, whereas the rest of the thallus dies. The tubers perennate and grow in the next growing season and produce a new thalli. Next, that is the gamete. Some of the species of the anthosauros produce asexual reproductive bodies like the name the gamete on the dorsal surface and along the margin of thalli, and on detachment of the thalli fall on the suitable substratum produce the new thallus. Persistent growing apexes. Persistent growing apexes. The thalli of some of the species dry in summer, but their growing apexes, जो इनकी growing apexes है, that is growing apexes, along with adjacent tissue, उसके नियर बाई जो टिश्यू है सर्वाइव करते हैं, और बाकी का जो थैलस का जो पोर्शंस है वो समर सीजन के अंदर डाइज डिके हो जाता है. These growing apexes perennate the unfavorable dry conditions and resume growth as soon as they get the favorable environment. These growing apexes probably remain protected from drying due to the presence of a lot of mucilage. The mucilage helps to retain the water and prevents its loss. Next, that is the apospory. The term apospory is important. Students, production of new thalli from the cells of sporophyte means the production of new thalli from the cells of sporophyte. Usually sporophyte के किस किस पोर्शन से? Usually from intercalary meristem, subepidermal or sporogenous region of capsule. Such a production of plant body from the cells of sporophyte is termed as the apospory. These thalli means जो apospory प्रोसेस से प्रोमिनोन से जो थैलाई प्रोड्यूस करेगी आर एक्चुअली डायपोलाइड बट दे रिजिम्बल गैमेटोफिटिक थैलाई मीन्स उनकी जो मोर्फोलॉजी है स्ट्रक्चर है रिजिम्बल द गैमेटोफिटिक बॉडी. Next, that is the sexual reproduction. The sexual reproduction in Anthoceros is oogamous. Male sex organs are antheridia and female sex organs are archegonia. Some of the species are monoecious, means male and female sex organs are formed in the same plant, whereas some of the species are dioecious. Some of the examples of monoecious species are Anthoceros crispus, Anthoceros fujiformis, and the example of the dioecious species is Anthoceros erectus, Anthoceros levis, Anthoceros heli. The formation of sex organs in Anthoceros have been reported to be dependent on specific photoperiods, means light, duration of light. The Anthoceros is a short day plant and the initiation of antheridia occurs in short day conditions, whereas the temperature has no effect. The short day conditions prevail in winters and thus the sex organs develop in winters and spring seasons. Position of the antheridia. Student, position of the antheridia. That is archegonia, that is position of the antheridia. The antheridia occur singly or in groups on the dorsal surface of thallus inside the closed cavities. That is the closed cavities. And that closed cavity is called the antheridial chamber. The antheridial chamber consisting of a group of antheridia is called the androsia. The androsia are borne on dorsal surface of thallus in acropetal succession. The number of antheridia in each androsia varies in different species. Example, 2 in Anthoceros himalayensis, 7 in Anthoceros crispus, 32 in Anthoceros gamelusus. The roof of antheridial chamber, that is the roof of antheridial chamber, is two-layered. At maturity, it opens on dorsal surface by a central pore. Structure of mature antheridium, that is the mature antheridium. Mature antheridium is orange in color, differentiated into long stalk and a club-shaped body. The stalk is multicellular, cylinder, or massive and consists of elongated cells, usually arranged, usually arranged in four vertical rows. The club-shaped body, that is the club-shaped body, has single-layer strial jackets enclosing a mass of androcytes. The cells of jacket may be arranged in four superimposed tiers in some species, not in all, in some species. Example, Anthoceros erectus, or irregularly arranged in single layers. Example, Anthoceros levis, Anthoceros himalayensis. The androcytes metamorphoses into biflagellate, that is this biflagellate, slightly curved anthrozoids. How it descends. Usually different stages of antherial development can be seen or observed in a single androsia, that is mature or near to mature, that is young, that is newly. The antheridium which matures first comes to lie in central position by young antheria all around. In the meantime, the roof of antherial chamber breaks breaks and opens on dorsal surface by a central pore. The antheridium absorbs water. जो central pore है, it lies just beneath the pore. The antheridium absorbs water and the distal cells of, that is the distal cells of jacket separate, creating an apical aperture, that is creating an apical aperture through which the mass of androcytes gets squeezed out. Gets squeezed out. The mass of androcytes breaks into small clusters and come to lie on the surface of water. The androcytes spread and metamorphose into biflagellate, small, rod-shaped or slightly curved anthrozoids. They swim in the film of water over the surface of thallus. Students, today I end the topic up to the descent of antheridium. In the next video, we will study about the archegonia, sporophytes, and young gametophytes. Thank you.